Hi, everybody. This is Janet D, the PT, and I'm coming to you today to talk about common items that you can find in your house and at the store to help you in your COVID recovery. So, I am a COVID survivor. I had the diagnosis back in April of 2020. I even wrote a book about my quarantine experience, and it's called How I Overcame COVID-19 as a Healthcare Professional. And some of the items that I'm going to talk to you about today, I also discussed in my book, of just ways that I could help myself during my recovery. So I was not hospitalized, but I also didn't have symptoms. So I am a 30-something-year-old woman with no medical conditions, and I had symptoms of COVID-19. So some of my symptoms while I was sick included crazy chills. Crazy chills. I mean, like, I was under like 4 layers of blankets and I still had chills. I lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks. I lost my sense of taste and smell. And gosh, I had some crazy like palpitations going on too, which was really interesting. So, things that I did not have. I did not have a fever. I did not have nausea. And I did not have like any GI issues. Okay. But as we're finding with history, and unfortunately more people being afflicted with COVID-19, is that it's a spectrum. Everybody's symptoms are different. Congrats to the ones who feel nothing. And gosh, like, my thoughts and prayers for the long haulers. I even know some of them who have been afflicted with COVID-19 for multiple months and trying to fight their way out of it. Unfortunately, I've also known 11 people who died from COVID-19. So I have a very interesting perspective. But today's video is going to talk about things you can find around your house that could help you with your recovery. Okay, so since I didn't have a fever, but I had those crazy chills and some congestion. So what did I take to help myself? Okay, so to help myself in my recovery, I took a Tylenol. Okay. Just a generic acetaminophen. Okay. Because as research has shown to us do not take ibuprofen. Okay. If you need something, you're to take Tylenol, right? So that's proven in the studies. Yay. So I took Tylenol at the beginning of my symptoms. Okay. Because I had some congestion, oh my gosh, I love Vicks. I could probably do a whole video about Vicks and why I love what it does. So I rubbed the Vicks on my chest in order to help with the congestion, but also because I lost my taste and smell, I'm also trying to stimulate those nerve endings in my nose to try to get my sense of smell back. Okay. Then that goes into, I was getting really creative during my quarantine because having kids, I really wanted to get better faster, whatever way I could come up with in order to be back with my kids. Okay, so I even took to smelling essential oils. Okay, so this one is lavender, and what I would do when because I lost my sense of taste and smell for 6 weeks. Okay, 6 weeks I couldn't taste or smell. But with my medical background, I was making sure I was still taking care of myself. So then that way that the recovery wouldn't be as drastic. It would just be more of a bump in the road. So every morning and evening, I would smell my essential oils, and I would alternate between my lavender, right, and peppermint. Okay. And so I would just be alternating every morning and night for 6 weeks in order to try to stimulate the nerve endings that are in your nose, right? And with my medical background, I know that the olfactory nerve is a cranial nerve, which basically means it goes from my nose straight into my brain. So obviously it's something that's really important for life and to function. And so I was just trying to get my nerves back straight again. So I was sniffing my essential oils in order to try to stimulate my taste of my sense of smell back. Okay. So what else did I do for my congestion? Okay. So in a previous video, I talked about how much I love kinesio tape because it helps to facilitate movements, but also that it's great for our lymph drainage in our body. And so what I did with the kinesio tape when I was congested, okay, was I just cut the line. So I made like an awesome pair of pants, right, with my kinesio tape. So it's about 2 squares. And what I would do is I would tape it from my nostrils up above my eyebrows to help to facilitate that drainage within my sinuses and my nose. So then 1, I could sleep a lot better, but also 2, just to kind of help myself out, right? As a physical therapist, one of my favorite things to do with clients is to teach them how to help themselves. Hence the reason why I really enjoy these videos. If you're enjoying this video, please drop a like down below, drop a comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. I also, given my medical background, I knew how important it was to stay healthy, even though I couldn't taste or smell, so I obviously wasn't very hungry. And since I was feeling under the weather, I knew that, okay, it's not good for my body if I'm not feeding it and I'm not taking care of it, right? So one of the things I would make sure to do was I would take my vitamins. And so like the type of vitamins I take, they have a morning and an evening packet. And in my packet of vitamins, one, it would be like a multivitamin, an omega-3, probiotic, fiber, things to just keep my body functioning as well as it can. So then that way I could heal and feel so much better. Okay, so aside from doing vitamins, okay, I would also make sure to drink my electrolytes. Okay, so then that way I was preventing dehydration and just trying to keep my body functioning at a higher level while I was not feeling well. So one of the big reports that was coming out with COVID was about people being dehydrated and having pneumonia. So one of the things I was making sure that I was going to do was take my vitamins and make sure that I was drinking something that was good for me. So not only was I drinking my electrolytes, but I was also having tea with honey, real honey, to help with anti-inflammatory process that was going on in my body. Okay. What's really interesting is, now that I am post-COVID, is having some of these scans done on my body to see what are the lasting effects of COVID. So having an EKG was definitely not on my radar for 2020. Luckily, I was normal, so that was great. But, as we all know, this is affecting people differently. So, I mean, it's great that the more we know, the easier it is for us to help ourselves and to help others. So, one of the things that I would do when I had my crazy chills, I mean, visibly shaking from my chills, right? I would take a nice bath. But what else would I do with my bath? Okay. So I was taking this nice warm bath to try to get the chills out, right? But also I would add in Epsom salts. Okay. So why would I add in Epsom salt to my bath? Okay. By adding in Epsom salt into my bath, my body was actually holding on to more water in my system. So then that way I can keep all my organs functioning at a higher level, which, I mean, especially in April when really not a lot of information was out there, I was just trying to set myself up for success by using some of my science knowledge and applying it to myself. Okay. So one of the other things I would do, and not all people have this just lying around in their house, but it's something that's great, is a vitamin D sun lamp. So in Chicago in April, our weather is not exactly, top quality. So when I had COVID, it was quite cloudy and cold. And so I wasn't able to really open up the window to get my vitamin D in order to feel better. Because especially since I had worked in a senior community where a lot of the individuals were vitamin D deficient, I was trying to supplement my vitamin D not only in vitamins, but also through a sun lamp. And I would put this on, the 10 feet away from me while I was Netflix and chill, right? Or reading, or just zoning out. I wanted to make sure that I was still setting myself up to feel better. All right. So these are just some of the added common items that you could find around your house that I just happen to use in my COVID recovery. If you really enjoyed this video, go ahead, drop a like, drop a comment. Hey, why don't you tell your friends about me? Okay, share and subscribe to my channel. That would be great, because as Janet D, the PT, I am here to help you help yourselves. So these were some of the common items that you can find in your house and in the store in order to help downplay some of your COVID-19 symptoms. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.